Sorry, everybody. Can you hear up there? Can you hear? Thank you, everybody, for coming. And the drummers and the Musqueam representatives, the Leotooth and the Squamish. We've got the microphone out now. This kind of vision came to my mind last night about like, when do I bring the microphone out? And so we kind of went acoustic, and now this is the new technology. And it's about the youth and giving the youth a voice, and also nature. So there's a fish head here. Maybe he or she can speak, I don't know. But my name's Jay Peachy. I'm of Filipino descent. Both my parents are Filipino. They're coastal people. They're connected to the water, and that whole spirit has been brewing in me all these years, and it's brought me to a place of the salmon and to the salmon people who are indigenous to this territory. And so of this color skin as well, and this part of the world, there's certain struggles that I've shared. I also was raised Catholic. I resisted parts of the way through. So I share a little bit of the struggles, but not to the depth of pain that the indigenous people have had to face as a form of the theft and the genocide put upon their people. So I stand in solidarity with the skills and the gifts that have been given to me. And for those people who are new to the land, from my experience with my friends who are indigenous, they've welcomed me even in my craziness and my insecurities and my quirkiness, and have supported me in terms of the gifts that I've got and my natural abilities, and I've lent it out to them, and they've reciprocated by their love, their salmon, their drumming, their stories, their land, the fresh air, the fresh water, the trees, the storytelling. It's an amazing gift you can't even shop for. So I call upon everyone who's on this territory. You can see in this mall, other than the people here, what is the spirit that represents the history of this place? I remember when this was trees. People were protesting the desecration and the destruction of the trees that were here. This used to look like Central Park in my generation. I don't look that old because I work on it. But I could be father to some of these drummers. I try and eat like natural food, like wild food. I try and bless the food that comes to me, even though it may be genetically modified or whatever, but just trying to honor the spirit of it. And so what's happening here is a spiritual expression of what's real. And so I hope you can all take it home with you. I'm going to stop talking and hand the mic over to Taylor. He's a beautiful young spirit that said some really wise words on Facebook about how taxpayers will be impacted by pipelines and tankers. She's speaking of the economic impact to her parents as a youth who's still learning. It's amazing wisdom. So I'm going to pass on the mic to her, and then to Kaya Blaney, who's, if you don't know her, she's gonna sing, but your heart should be ready, because it's going to surround your heart, and you won't be able to stop it. So let it teach you what it teaches you, and let the knowledge that's about to speak absorb it. And don't be afraid to express yourself however way you need to. Let's go to
Hatswayo Tanoya and Sequatals, Tanoya and Sequatals, Is Chop Tanoya, Taylor George Hollis Quien Sna, Tanachin Tlaw Squahomish Ol, Eslahan Okumeo. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy to be here today, and my name is Taylor George Hollis. I am the 8th generation descendant of hereditary chief Kame Siem, and I come from the George family. I also come from the Eslahan village, which is also known as the Mission Reserve in North Vancouver. It means a lot to me to be here today with my Salish family. My family's from the Musqueam Nation, from the Tsleil-Waututh Nation, and from all over the island. And so I'm here just to share a little bit about how I feel about the pipelines and the tankers that Stephen Harper has been proposing for our economic future. And so I wrote down a few words, and thank you for listening today. I honestly believe that Stephen Harper and Kinder Morgan is causing more harm than good for our country, especially by trying to make billions of dollars at our expense. It's bad enough that Harper is muzzling the scientists working for this project, but it's even worse that Harper and his government are still working against the First Nations people, and they are still working against the Vancouver Park Board, the City of Burnaby, the City of Port Moody, and the City District of West Vancouver's opposition. We are the ones who will be affected directly and physically, not only today, but for generations to come. This is not a matter of if a crude oil spill will leak in our Salish Sea, but when. The expansion of the Trans Mountain pipelines will create 5 to 6 times more oil tanker traffic throughout our Howe Sound and the Burrard Inlet. Harper's government can't just look at the economical viewpoint, but they have to look at it ecologically and eco-socionomically. All in all, we have to do our part by becoming informed and informing others. And as stewards, as First Nations, we are the stewards of our land, and we have to protect it. So thank you, OCM Chenkwan Mentomi.
Hi, Chika. Takaya is, she's just in the green room right now. So we have an interview with, oh, okay. Well, the fish, can you wait? All right. We're gonna capture the fish on the microphone a little later, but I'd like to introduce Takaya Blaney. She was once 11-year-old, and now she's older, I believe. I can't keep track, but she will introduce herself, so give it up for Takaya Blaney.
Hi, I'm 12. So I'm here as a supporter of Idle No More. I'm here as an environmentalist. I'm not here as someone who's political. I'm just here to protect our Mother Earth and to leave something for the next generation, and to recognize that my parents didn't teach me to be political, or didn't teach me like which is right or wrong. It's just a part of my culture as being from the Salish Nation, and it was something that my Kukpa, my grandfather, and my Chichia, my grandmother, my Kukpa, Robert Blaney, and my Chichia, Elizabeth Blaney, something that they taught me. And to me, environment and in being an environmentalist and having these protests and speaking for the environment, that's not a political thing. The word environment isn't a political thing, and it isn't just something that, you know, a bunch of trees and squirrels. It's our home. It's what we, it's where we catch our fish. It's where we get our cedar to make these hats. And I would sit on my Kukpa's lap on his left knee because his right knee was for my cousin Kaylee, and so, you know, we'd always sit in the same knee. And he would teach me about our Mother Earth, and he would tell me about the balance in our ecosystem, and he would tell me that the animals and the land and the water and the people were like the four directions, were four different colors, but we're all connected in a greater circle. And the lifeblood, the water, the lifeblood of the land is the lifeblood of our people. And everything that we do to that water, we are doing to ourselves, we are doing to our own bodies. Everything that we're doing to the land, we are doing to our homeland, we are doing to the animals, ourselves, because we are equally as connected to the land as the animals are, even though sometimes we choose not to believe it. And everything that we do to the air, we're breathing in. We're breathing in our bodies. The pollution that we put into the air is the pollution that we're putting into ourselves. And that's what I was taught. And even as a young child, I would be noticing the corruption in my nation. I would be noticing pollution in our territory, because that's, you know, at an age of like 5 and 6, that's when kids notice things, because that's, you know, something that we do. We notice and absorb the things around us. And I noticed what was going on. I noticed the treaty and how that was affecting our culture. And I would always hear my parents complain about how we could barely practice our culture anymore. And when I was 8 years old and I saw an advertisement or an article in the paper, it might as well have been an advertisement, for the Northern Gateway Pipeline. And just to imagine an oil pipeline going from the tar sands of Alberta and carrying that oil through the 45 different First Nations territories, putting at risk those languages, the way of life that has existed since the time of their ancestors' ancestors, putting at risk the whales and the spirit bears, the black bears with the recessive gene that makes them white up in Kitimat, and bringing through those sacred waters super tankers. I just imagined how terrible that would be to the cultures, and I decided I didn't want to hear, and I didn't want to hear myself complain if this pipeline spilled. I didn't want to look back 20 years from now and think I could have done something, but I didn't. I decided that I wanted to use my voice that I was given, like my Kukpa, my Chichi, and my dad. They told me that we are all given a voice for a reason. We are given a voice by the Creator to speak for those who have no voice and for those whose voice goes unheard. So I used that voice, not only my speaking voice, but my singing voice, and I decided to write a song called Shallow Waters, about a future where that oil spilled in the land. And from there on, the first thing I did is I went to the Enbridge buildings, their offices, the Bentall building. I called in advance and I said that I wanted to talk about my concerns with this pipeline. I got over there, there was security outside, and I came back the next day, there was no security, so when I called in advance, I guess they put security outside, and I was 10. And I wasn't able to get inside the building, and I was told that I had to get out or else I would be charged with trespassing. And as a first step, it was disappointing, but it showed me the strength of our people. It showed me how strong that we fight, and how we will fight for our Mother Earth, and how unafraid we are in the face of all of these threats. We are unafraid of these corporations, but we are afraid for our future. And it did show me how afraid these corporations were of us, how afraid they are of our voice, and of this idle no more and of us coming together and putting our foot down and saying no, and of the power of the millions of individuals who have gone up and said something against one greedy individual like Harper or Christy Clark. And over the years that I've been speaking, I've just discovered so many things and found so much inspiration. And today I wanted to share a song with you, and this is Earth Revolution. And so it's about my generation, being generation now. Not generation and then a letter, but the generation now, the generation that must change things, the generation that will make the decisions for the many generations to come, and the generation that needs to change things now. So this is Earth Revolution. Out from a distance, still got a million miles to go, making a difference. The only trophy I wanna hold is state of the nations. It's poison from pollution, greed and war. We know we have solutions, but actions speak louder than words. Whoa, stop waiting till tomorrow. No, stop living yesterday. Oh, 'cause there won't be tomorrow if we don't change today. We're generation now, children of the future. Earth revolution, creation's crying out, and I feel her pain. I can't walk away, so I will do my part to fix what's broken and give back what we've taken. Hope for the dawn of a new day, calling out to each and every person. Join me in the Earth Revolution. Let's go the distance. We are a million voices strong, facing resistance. But there's a choice between right and wrong. Oh, stop waiting till tomorrow. Oh, stop living yesterday, 'cause there won't be tomorrow if we don't change today. We're generation now, children of the future. Earth revolution, creation's crying out, and I feel her pain. I can't walk away, so I will do my part to fix what's broken and give back what we're taking. Hope for the dawn of a new day, calling out to each and every person. Join me in the Earth Revolution. I've walked this great land. It used to be beautiful, it used to be home. And I've seen the river run dry, now communities have no hope. Where are the tall ancient trees? They've replaced them with their concrete trees. We gotta turn this around. We can fix it right now. Generation now, children of the future. Earth revolution, creation's crying out, and I feel her pain. I can't walk away, so I will do my part to fix what's broken and give back what we've taken, and hope for the dawn of a new day, calling out to each and every person. Join me in the revolution. I'm calling out to each and every nation. Join me in Earth revolution. Thank you.
The fish wants to say something. She doesn't speak Fishanese, apparently. So, I don't know, what do you think? Should we talk about it? I don't know, what do you think? Come on. Can you say something?
Hello? Testing? Y'all can hear me? I got transformed into a wild salmon because I did not believe that wild salmon can get sick from the farm salmon. And because of my way of thinking, I got transformed into a wild salmon. And now I'm able to communicate with my other wild salmon brothers and sisters. And they've been telling me many, many stories from all around the world. Norway to here. Stop the farm salmon. The farm salmon are making us wild salmon sick. We're dying off rapidly. Say no to farm salmon. Same with the pipeline. It's not a matter of if they're going to burst, it is a matter of when. When are they going to burst? When they do burst, there are going to be many, many disasters. There's going to be lots of wild salmon and wildlife in general for all of our coastal lines. Support wild salmon. Say no to farm salmon. Support the stop of any emigrant. Support the stop of any pipelines all along the west coast here. Thank you.
And then the final question, as a salmon being very wise and knowledgeable on fishing, depending on salmon for thousands of years, what knowledge would you wish to share with everyone about what we should do as inspiration for the salmon?
Take care of your wild salmon. Protect your wild salmon. Honor your wild salmon and give thank you for their lives, for our lives that we give to you to nourish you. Throw our bones back to Mother Earth so that they can feed our little ones, our little insect brothers and sisters. And we give nourishment to everybody. Protect us.
Here is Taylor George. Apparently I'm the MC now. She's from the Squamish Nation, and I think maybe she would like to introduce more about herself because she knows more about herself than I do.
So, one of my favorite songs from our Squamish Nation is the Snowbird song. And the first time I heard this song was back when I lived in Seattle, Washington. And it's an honor to live here in British Columbia because living here I get to learn my language firsthand and I get to go into the waters that my ancestors